And here we go, back at it for another week of television entertainment, or as we like to say in the business, TV. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Monday, the 5th day of March, 2018. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Live channel. I'll be hanging around here for the next hour or so. Steve Hare, news director, to my immediate left. Good morning to Steve.
Good morning to you too, Dan.
Kat is in control. It's Monday. It's a good Monday. Monday, there's such a thing as a good Monday.
Yeah.
When you like what you do, Mondays are a piece of cake.
Unless you hurt yourself on the weekend, then you pay for it on Monday morning. Not me.
You see those Facebook posts of people going, God, it's Monday, and they're just like, and I go, do something that you like. You don't have a problem with it at all. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a chance to, wherever you did this weekend, to spend a little bit of time with us here on the NCW Live channel. You know what I did this weekend? I spent a bunch of time on our website because all of last week we've been populating and ingesting onto our website all of the sporting events that we've been sitting back on. So there's like 40 games that are available to watch on demand whenever you want to, going all the way back to baseball last year and football and all the basketball games that we did, unified basketball and bowling and volleyball. It's all there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So whenever you want to sit around and say, I think I want to watch a little volleyball or a little basketball or whatever the case may be, there's about 50 different sporting contests to choose from available on demand on our website.
Well, that was time-consuming weekend for you then, wasn't it?
It was fun. I brought back some mememories, you know, and I was a lot of critiquing, you know, boy, I did a bad job on the camera, things like that. But that's what I did. And I binge-watched a few things, and I did not watch the 90th Academy Awards last night. I missed it.
I didn't watch it either. Yeah. I haven't watched the last, I think, 5 years.
Well, you haven't gone to a movie since, what was it, Patton?
Well, no, not to a theater. But I have seen the movies that have been nominated anyway.
Okay, the ones that are at least available on Netflix?
Not this year's, but last year's. I've caught up with last year's.
I understand it was a pretty good show. There wasn't any...
Depends on who you ask, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion because I didn't watch it.
If you're a Republican, you probably didn't watch it.
I don't think that. I don't think they care one way or the other. Movies are movies, right? Anyway, I didn't watch it. I'm told that I didn't win anything, so maybe that's the reason why. My guest today in the second half of the show is Cosme Hernandez. He owns that brand new business called Tiny House Cribs. It's all, you know, it's the new thing, these 400 square foot houses. Yeah. He's got a brand new business out there in Malaga to some of you people, and he came in last Friday to tape the interview, and we'll be playing that in the back half of the hour. Cashmere Lady Bulldogs, second year in a row, all the way to the state championship, all the way to the very end of the fourth quarter. Couldn't pull it off. But we do have a sports report with Eric Granstrom. But the Wild did good.
Wild has done well.
Yeah, they are up 2-0 now on the Merritt Centennials after victories on Thursday and Saturday at the Town Toyota Center. Now it's back up to Merritt, see if they can close out the Centennials in 4 games, get some rest, and get ready for the next round of the playoffs, the BCHL playoffs. We have the obscure holiday. We have Today in History. We got birthdays
and
to get to.
Mike Magnotti.
No Mike today.
No Mike today?
No, now Mike's show will be on. Don't get me wrong, Street Talk and other stuff will be on this very television station live at 10 o'clock this morning with Darcy Christopherson, but everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, not available today.
Well, maybe you can share an opinion then in his place.
It's not a bad idea.
Why
Do
not?
I have an opinion on something? It's these kids today with the rock and roll music and the long hippie hair. I don't understand it. Steve's got news too. You ready to go? Oh, well, listen, actually, before we go around the valley, I want to throw some numbers your way, Steve, because this is all good stuff to me. You ready?
Yeah.
Today is March 5th, so 6 days from now, daylight saving time kicks in.
Good.
It'll kick in overnight, Saturday into Sunday. We are 16 days away from the spring equinox, first day of spring, and we are 26 days away from the best day of them all, opening day of the baseball season.
Oh gosh, that's right. I've been watching a few of those preseason games. Mariners, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for them.
You always got to have hope. You got to have heart, miles and miles and miles of heart.
We'll see.
Did you ever watch Damn Yankees?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times.
Okay, well then you know you have to.
All I remember is whatever Lola wants, Lola gets.
Anyway, I just want to throw those numbers out for you. The most important one is daylight saving time kicks in on Sunday, so you get that, you lose that hour. So we spring forward. So all of a sudden, 2 o'clock on Sunday morning becomes 3 o'clock. Just a heads up on that.
We got a home and garden show coming up too, don't we?
Yep, it's the Home Expo now. They changed the name, and it starts on Friday at noon. We'll be there.
Oh yeah.
Off and on all weekend. If you want to see some celebrities, some might show up, but Steve and I will be there anyway. And I don't even know what the shift is.
You can be a celebrity. You can actually be a celebrity.
I can?
No, but our viewers can.
Oh, by doing what?
By joining us at our booth. We'll put them on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the plan. Isn't
That
it?
is the plan, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that is the plan.
It
Which is
wasn't
what
a
we do.
surprise, I hope.
No, I think
I
that's
didn't
exactly
spoil
what
it. It's not a spoiler.
I spend most of the 3 days just blowing up balloons. Let's go around North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of
Lighter
local
than
tels.
air.
Yeah, lighter than air.
Yeah.
Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. That is the camera pulled all the way back, the famous cross camera. It's about 50, 75 feet to the east of what we know as the cross, up there at the tip of Wenatchee Heights.
Boy, look at that beautiful reflection on the river there.
We're in for a nice week weather-wise, too. Quite a bit of sunshine. High pressure is going to be
warmer
large and in
temps,
charge.
yeah.
Warmer temperatures, all that good stuff. First full week in March is officially upon us. So as you can see Birch Mountain. They've had some snow retreating again. It's been going back and forth, but we're losing more snow up in the upper elevations.
Except
we
for
will
the
this week.
Snoqualmie Pass.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to news. Camera number 2 is a beautiful shot of, that's the Steins? That's the monitor. That's the monitor camera pointing directly to the west. You can see the Cascades. You can see the Wenatchee River. You can see all those orchards sitting there ready to start growing apples and cherries and peaches and pears and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. You can see Cashmere, which is probably still recovering from the disappointment on Saturday night. It was a great year for the Cashmere girls.
Oh, yeah.
It really was. And they're a young team. They only graduate one person, so they'll be back again. Good morning, Cashmere. Good to have you on board. Camera 3.
I don't know. Kaylee may be going pro, isn't she?
Yeah, I'm going pro.
Yeah.
That is Lake Wenatchee, of course, our Two Rivers camera. Last week we had this pointed up the White River Valley. Today we have it pointed right back down to Lake Wenatchee. It looks like it's a little breezy there.
Yeah, a little wind buffeting our cam up there.
I love Lake Wenatchee. It looks like most of the ice was already dissipated on the lake. So good morning to Lake Wenatchee, one of my favorite places in North Central Washington. And finally, camera 4 is Billy Goat.
Looking down on the confluence of the Columbia River and the Methow River.
And we have an answer to the name of that mountain, but we're not going to do it until tomorrow. I want to have it clear enough so we can actually see it.
Yeah, good idea.
Right now we can't see it, but we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. When you look at the Billy Goat camera and you can see a little mountain, actually it's a big mountain, but it's way, way off in the distance, a couple of 100 miles to the northwest. We now have a pretty good idea what that mountain is, and if we have clear skies tomorrow, and we should, for the Billy Goat, we'll bring the Billy Goat camera up and we'll unveil the name of that mountain. I'll give you a little hint. It was named after Steve.
Or a town of Montana.
It wasn't named
spelled differently, though.
Yeah, spelled differently. So there's our cameras from around North Central Washington. Let's do your weather forecast on this Monday, and it's setting up to be a very nice one indeed. There you go. High pressure is beginning to build up. It will gradually strengthen. 48 today, 49, lots of sunshine Tuesday. Weak system going to give us just the slightest chance of precipitation. We're talking a 10% chance of rain on Wednesday, spilling into Wednesday night. Best chance of measurable rain, Steve, Thursday, about a 50-50 chance of rain, then it tapers right back down again. And there is your weekend forecast. All of these temperatures today and tomorrow about normal, then a little bit above normal Wednesday, and slightly warmer on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Overnight lows just about normal for this time of year as we're well into March.
Still about a month from when I can start taking my socks off, huh?
Yeah, I've seen your feet, Steve. You should be wearing socks all the time. That is your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Let's do your passes. As we mentioned earlier, Snoqualmie was a mess yesterday. Not so bad now today. There's a live shot of I-90 Snoqualmie Pass. Yeah, it's snowing. Snow and slush on the roadway. Traction tires are advised, but unlike a great deal of the time yesterday afternoon, it's open. You can at least drive it. So again, snowing on I-90, traction tires are advised on Snoqualmie Pass, snow and slush on the roadway. Looks like visibility is a bit poor as well. On Stevens Pass, this is a live shot. Traction tires advised on US 2, snowing up there, compact snow and ice on the roadway. And again, traction tires are advised. And the snow that we're seeing is actually the tail end of the system from yesterday, Steve. As the day progresses, the snow is going to weaken out a little bit. Blewett Pass, there's a summit of Blewett, US 97. Traction tires are advised, snow, slush, and ice on the roadway, but it is not snowing on Blewett Pass. And they're just about done with the snow. They're going to get an additional inch or so today, but most of the snow is already in the process of lightening up and tapering off, and they're not expecting a great deal of snow today. In fact, starting about mid-morning today all the way through Wednesday night, there was no snow at all in the forecast in the mountain passes. The high-pressure ridge is going to affect our weather, is going to affect the mountain passes as well. So give yourself a couple of hours, let the plows get a little bit more work done, and then you'll be fine. Traction tires are advised across the board on the Big Three, Snoqualmie, Stevens, and Blewett Pass. Give yourself a couple hours, the snow will be done, and then no snow at all until Wednesday night into Thursday. Good news for you people who need to cruise up into the mountain passes. 10 minutes after the hour. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No.
Something witty and...
No, it's Monday, remember.
It's Monday. It's Monday. 10 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, what little news we have, we're going to give it to you with this gentleman to my left, Steve Hare. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live on this Monday, March 5th from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
High school sports is back this spring on the NCW Live channel. Do you like baseball? We've got you covered with the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats. How about softball? We have you covered there too with fast pitch action right here. How about lacrosse? Yep, got you covered there too with the Wenatchee Valley Thunder. And of course, there's boys soccer. Whatever your interest, we've got you covered on your home for high school spring sports, the NCW Live channel.
The relationship between the lifetime warranty and our service department is our service department's award-winning, and they keep people's cars running for longer. I've had customers where they were waiting for their car to die, and it just wouldn't die because our service department was able to keep it running.
For longtime customers that are going to maybe have a new driver in the family in the next 4 or 5 years, the lifetime warranty is powerful. You're always going to have protection.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Well, good morning and welcome to this Monday morning here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Again, I'm Steve Hare. Here's some of the stories making the news on this Monday morning. It's March the 5th. First of all, here was the scene last night on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass. Traffic was halted there in both directions for several hours during a heavier than expected snowstorm. Now, the highway has since reopened following multiple spinouts and collisions last night. But again, as Dan mentioned earlier on our Wake Up Wenatchee Valley traffic report, only traction tires advised currently over Snoqualmie Pass. So things have returned to normal, as it were. Also, a Quincy man was killed Saturday in an accident state troopers say was the result of two cars racing each other on I-90 about 10 miles east of Kittitas. Authorities say 30-year-old Jose Ale Ortega was driving westbound and believed to be racing another car when he lost control of the vehicle, causing it to roll over. A passenger in his car, also from Quincy, was injured and transported to a Kittitas Valley hospital for treatment. Also, an 8-year-old boy injured Saturday morning in a one-car crash on Highway 2 just west of Leavenworth. Now, in this crash, state troopers say the little boy was a passenger in a van driven by 32-year-old Rebecca Demet, also of Marysville. She reportedly struck a guardrail after losing control of the vehicle, crashed off the side of the road. The driver and a 12-year-old passenger were not hurt. The 8-year-old boy was treated and released from Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. Campus security and student safety will be the subject of a special meeting tonight in Wenatchee. The public invited to a listening and learning forum at Wenatchee High School on the topic of school safety. Now, this will be an open mic meeting for the community to share thoughts about safety with the Wenatchee School Board and administration. Officials will be discussing measures currently being implemented in the district, along with potential safety measures that will be built into the newly remodeled Wenatchee High School should the high school construction bond pass in the April 24th election. The event tonight starts at 7 o'clock in the high school commons. Again, it's open microphone, so bring your ears, and of course you should also be listening as well to learn more about what the school district is doing to protect your kids on campus. Seattle Business Magazine honored Confluence Health CEO Dr. Peter Rutherford as their Healthcare Executive of the Year. The award was presented at the annual Leaders in Healthcare Awards Gala event in Seattle last week. Dr. Rutherford was recognized for his leadership in the creation of Confluence Health through the affiliation of Central Washington Hospital and the Wenatchee Valley Clinic. Since then, Confluence Health has been consistently ranked among the best rural healthcare systems in the nation. And again, we'll be talking with Dr. Rutherford about that award later today, and we'll have more on that story coming up certainly on our website at ncwlife.com. You can also join Grant Olson as he anchors the NCW Life Evening News, where we'll have more on the stories you heard this morning, as well as more that we're working on in the newsroom for later today. Dan?
Expecting a fairly busy news day today.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We also have some announcements regarding some elected offices that are being applied for. So we'll have that for you as well.
It's going to be
changes coming on the Chelan and Douglas County Commissions.
It's going to be a fascinating election cycle.
I think so this
coming
year.
up. Going to be very interesting indeed.
Also reading that Nancy Harmon, our Chelan County District Court judge, is going to be facing a challenge too from a defense attorney who's filed for that position as well. So we'll find out about that too.
The news with Grant Olson, as Steve just mentioned, comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Right here on the very station you are watching, or you can watch it on demand. If you so desire, you can watch it on demand by just going to our website, ncwlife.com. Two things about our website. Number one, be prepared to spend some time there because we got a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
You'll be looking for the news and you'll find other stuff that you want to take a look at. And one of the nice things about that, if there's a specific news story that you're interested in, you don't want to really watch the whole newscast, you can just click on that and just watch the individual stories as we post them. Or you can watch the entire news. We try and get it up and running on demand on our website just before 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, we'd also ask you to be a friend of ours on our Facebook page as well, because we link many of the stories from our Facebook page to our website. So it's a great way to stay informed and also to join in the conversation about the news stories that we're posting as well. So,
and if you have a news tip, you can go to our website and there's a little drop down that says contact us and says submit news tip.
Yeah.
And you just fill out the form and in you go. So, and we all get it here at the Broadcast Metroplex in beautiful downtown Wenatchee. 17 minutes after the hours. What?
We got to tell people where to go. I mean,
You tell people where to go all the time,
I
Steve.
do, yeah, especially Dan.
It's usually someplace very warm and south of here.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, anyway, if you see breaking news out there, we invite you to call our hotline. That's 888-6295. 888-NCWL. Thank you very much for that, Kat. Also, you can contact us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our website. At the top of the page, you'll see a little tab there that says Contact. Click that, and then share any communication you will with us there. So that's a good deal.
17 minutes after the hour, going to take a quick break on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. When we come back, we'll talk Kashmir High School girls basketball, Wenatchee Wild. When we get into sports, then we also have the obscure holiday, birthdays, today in history, and everybody may be entitled to Mike McDonough's opinion. You're going to have to wait until 10 o'clock for that. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 3 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
And we were back, just a few high clouds, 28 degrees outside of our studios. Lots of sunshine for most of this week. Today's forecast high, about 48, just about normal for this time of the year. Sports, for the second year in a row, the Kashmir Lady Bulldogs went all the way to the state 1A championship game Saturday night at the Sun Dome in Yakima. Oh, and for the second year in a row, that far away from taking home the title. Our very own Eric Granstrom spent his weekend down in Yakima, the Palm Springs of the Northwest. And with Saturday night's highlights and the story, here's Eric.
Once again for the Kashmir Bulldogs, it was a case of so close but so far. The Bulldogs fall in the championship game Saturday night here in the Sundome to Linden Christian by a score of 50-48. There were 6 different lead changes in this game, most of those coming in the second half. There were 4 ties. Cashmere trailed it by 2 at halftime, 25-23. Coach Brent Darnell said he wanted to ramp up the defense starting that second half.
You know we're coming to blitz you. I mean, it's like lining up in the line of scrimmage and you see blitz, here it comes over and over and over again. But, you know, that old mantra of defense wins championships, I don't know if it's true anymore. Defense almost wins championships. It was close.
But Cashmere's Claire High got into early foul trouble, and that meant a big difference in the fourth quarter.
People don't realize sometimes the success of our team with other girls, because Haley's so great and she does so much for us scoring wise, but how important, you know, role players are, you know, kind of like in football, they talk about how important the offensive line is, the right guard and left guard, and protecting that blind spot. Those guys don't get a lot of credit, but how important to protect the quarterback. And, you know, Claire High is kind of that kid for us. You know, she's strong, she's smart, she understands our system, she's physical. So when she got in foul trouble, it definitely hurt us a little bit. We weren't as muscly down there, down low to get some big rebounds. And that was kind of the game, you know. I'm looking at the stat sheet, and we gave up 9 offensive rebounds. A couple of those were big there, and some crucial moments that we gave up, you know. Good defense, great stops, and then we rotate and then give up a big second chance point. It's just a punch in the gut. But that was the difference, without a doubt. Their second chance points and their offensive rebounds.
Cashmere was led by the tournament record 36 points of Haley Van Lith. And Coach Darnell says, what more could you ask for from the sophomore?
You give your best player, put the ball in their hands, and let him go make a play. And boy, did that girl make a lot of plays tonight. Oh, my goodness. I mean, yeah. Unbelievable effort by her. I mean, she was just awesome tonight. She just put on a show. I mean, 32 minutes, her and Cammie. But my goodness.
Cashmere trailed by 2 with just seconds remaining as Linden Christian went to the foul line, missed the front end of 1-on-1. Cashmere gets the rebound, and it looked like a fast break opportunity. But a timeout was given to Cashmere. Coach Darnell said he was asking for it a lot earlier than the officials gave it to him.
You know, that's always a flip of the coin. Do you let him go and let her try to create something without setting something up? I was actually trying to get the timeout earlier when Haley was in the backcourt, but it was Mayheim in there, and it's loud, and I'm yelling at the ref, timeout, timeout, timeout. Well, he doesn't hear me till the very last one, and then I'm like, ooh, Haley's got a little 2-on-2 opportunity here. I'm going to let her go, and then he turns around and gives me the timeout. So it is what it is. Did that change anything? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we got a great look at the end of the game with Haley on a little quick inbounds play where she almost had an and one or another 2-point shot. Would that be any different than her on the first one? Who knows? And we could what if it to death. But it was, I don't think that was the one that made the difference. It was a couple of the defensive stops before that when we gave up our little lead right there. Those were the big ones.
So once again, for the second season in a row, Cashmere comes that close to a state championship, falling 50-48 to Linden Christian. Both the Linden Christian boys and girls winning state championships here at the Sundome in Yakima. Let's get a recap of some other of the finals here of the teams we've been following. Moses Lake finishes 3rd in the girls 4A tournament, downing East Lake 70-55 on its final day. They finish in 3rd place. Kamaikan, out of the Big 9, finishes in 4th place. The girls do after downing Seattle Prep in the 3A girls tournament over in the Tacoma Dome. Also, the Elmira Cooley Heartline girls were able to finish with a victory as they down Mount Vernon Christian 69-24. They place 4th in the tournament, and Elmira Cooley Heartline boys and Sunnyside Christian were playing at the time of this report, so we'll get that one for you on the graphic here as well. But the final here, another crushing blow for the Cashmere Lady Bulldogs, but what a season it was. They fall here to Linden Christian 50-48 in the championship game. From the Sundome in Yakima, I'm Eric Grandstrom for the NCW Life Channel.
Yeah, it was a difficult loss for the Cashmere Lady Bulldogs, but remember, they just graduate one player. Almost the entire roster returns for next season. All right, 24 minutes after the hour, let's talk Wenatchee Wild hockey. They traded goals early on with Merritt Centennials, but the third period did the charm as Wenatchee Wild on Saturday night eventually skated to a 6-4 win. They now have a 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. Just 33 seconds into the game, Merritt struck early. That's right, just 33 seconds into the game. The seats weren't even warm yet, so Merritt took a 1-0 lead. The Wild tied it on a Lucas Sauter power play goal, and then Wenatchee went up 2-1 at the 4:49 mark of the first period. Then Merritt scored again, and then Wenatchee retook the lead on a Chad Sasaki power play goal, and it was 3-2 after the first period. Second period, the Wild started the second period down a man on power play, but they got rid of the power play, and then they grew their lead to 4-2 on a Jasper Weatherby power play goal. Congratulations there on Jasper. And then Merritt would strike twice in the span of 55 seconds to tie the game at 4 apiece. So the game was tied at 4 after 2 periods. Finally and fittingly, the game-winning goal for Wenatchee in Game 2 came on a power play. Jasper Weatherby finishing it off. A.J. Vanderbeck scored a late goal. And again, the final was 6-4. So lots of goals Saturday night at the Town Toyota Center. Games 3 and 4 of the series will be Tuesday and Wednesday up in Merritt. And if Game 5 is necessary, Thursday up in Merritt. But the Wild have a 2-0 lead in the quarterfinals. It is 26 minutes after the hour. It's time for the obscure holiday of the day today, and this is still a state holiday in Illinois. It is Casimir Pulaski Day. There he is. It's a legal holiday in Illinois and in a lot of other states. Any state that has a large Polish population celebrates this because Mr. Pulaski was considered and still is considered the father of the American cavalry. He was born and raised in Poland, came to fight for the United States independence. Although he was born in Poland, eventually made it over to the United States, died in the Revolutionary War, is considered probably the most famous Polish American of all time, even though he wasn't really a Polish American. Today is it's a state holiday in the state of Illinois and has been for a number of years. Happy Casimir Pulaski Day today on this, the 5th day of March. It is 27 minutes after the hour. Let's do Today in History. 2 items caught my eye. Today is the anniversary of the Boston Massacre. In Great Britain, they still call it the incident on King Street. Here in the United States, we call it the Boston Massacre. Of course, March 5th, 1770, when a bunch of British soldiers fired on a bunch of patriots. That engraving right there was by Paul Revere, which was circulated all over the colonies, which further heightened tensions, as you might imagine, but it also spread word of the Boston Massacre all over the United States. Ironically enough, the 8 soldiers who were charged were defended in court by John Adams, the second president of the United States, and he did so because he said we have to give these guys a fair trial, because if we don't, things are going to get worse, not better. Of the 8 soldiers charged with murder, 6 were acquitted and 2 were convicted of manslaughter. But as far as John Adams was concerned, he said that was the most important single event that lit the spark to start the Revolutionary War, the Boston Massacre on the state in 1770. And on this date in 1953, after 29 years of rule, Joseph Stalin died in Moscow. The final death toll that Joseph Stalin was personally responsible for, most historians say, is somewhere around 11 to 12 million people. We're not talking soldiers that he sent off to die in World War II. We're talking people he just ordered killed, executed, off to the Gulag, off to Siberia, whatever the case may be. One of the worst human beings ever. Joseph Stalin died on this date in 1953. That's your Today in History. Now birthdays, I got 3 of them. If you're a Mariner fan, you probably remember Del Crandall. He managed the Mariners in 1983 and 1984. Del Crandall is still going strong. He's 88 years old. He has this unique, he's one of the best defensive catchers in Major League Baseball history. He has this unique claim to fame. He caught 3 no-hitters. That's pretty remarkable. And for a couple of years in the early 80s, 83 and 84, he was the manager of the Seattle Mariners. He had a tough go of it. People weren't really following the Mariners. They didn't give him much talent to work with. Del Crandall, a class guy anyway, is 88 years old today. Penn Jillette celebrates birthday number 63 today. He's the one part of the Magic group that actually talks. Penn Jillette, I saw their show in Las Vegas about 3 years ago. Incredibly entertaining. He has a very unique slant on life, Penn Jillette does. And he celebrates his birthday today, 63 today. Happy birthday to Mr. Penn Jillette. And Charlie the Bus Schatz. There's Charlie. How are you, Charlie? I've never met this gentleman, but I want to. He's 30 years old today. Happy birthday, Charlie the Bus Schatz. Love, Cat. There you go. Happy 30th. By the way, the 30s are great. They're a great time to be alive, Charlie. Happy birthday. Love, Cat. 29 minutes after they are. Due to circumstances beyond our control, everyone is entitled to Mike McKnighty's opinion will not be seen this morning, but Street Talk and other stuff Mike's regularly scheduled Monday show will be seen here live at 10 o'clock. And his guest today will be Apple Blossom Administrator Darcy Christopherson. So although we don't have Mike's opinion for you today, we'll have Mike himself live in studio at 10 o'clock this morning on the NCW Live channel. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, my interview with Cosme Hernandez from Tiny House Cribs. Tiny houses are all the rage, and he's got a business, thriving business, right here in North Central Washington. That interview, when we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
We're here to celebrate every season with award-winning dining, full-service spa, and 170 waterfront guest rooms. Come experience our tradition of hospitality at Campbell's Resort on Lake Chelan.
I gotta tell you, I'm nervous. Selling your home, it's a big step. Can we find the right buyer in this market? Look at our website. When someone looks at your home, I can tell how ready they are to buy. See that number? The closer it is to 100, the closer they are to buying. So, I know who to zero in on. So you have a secret weapon. You mean, we have a secret weapon. I like that. Oh, what do you think of the wallpaper? I love that touch.
Is this really what we're gonna do on our girls' night out? We should go to Club Crow.
The bar and grill in Kashmir?
Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week, we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Why live your life in the dark? At Schmidt Electric, we're one of the oldest and most respected companies in the Pacific Northwest.
Founded by my father in 1960, we have grown from 2 employees to 130.
From small commercial businesses to heavy industrial companies, we employ some of the most respected contractors. We're also a proud member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers for over 50 years. Call us at Schmidt Electric today.
The all-new Yamaha Wolverine X4 offers 4 times the proven off-road capability, 4 times the comfort, and 4 times the confidence to deliver 4 times the excitement on your next outdoor adventure.
The NCW Live channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Live channel is your local TV station.
A fad is here to stay, and we thought we'd make a good point to visit with our friend Cosme Hernandez from Tiny House Cribs. Cosme, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
This is your background. This is off your website, and I'm quoting now. Agriculture, private security, retail, construction, natural resources, conservation, forestry, parks and recreation, emergency management, youth development, advocacy, Spanish interpreting, direct selling, public speaking, mobile technology, business-to-business, sales, and marketing. You've done all of those things?
A little bit of everything, yes.
Wow, and how old are you?
I'm 25 years old.
Wow, so you're doing it, baby. You're doing it.
Just really, you know, I started off trying to figure out what did I want to do in life, and I started tapping into different industries. to really kind of get a feel for what my passion is.
And you found it, I think.
Yeah.
You found it. A little something about you, Cosme, before we get into your business.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, outside of what I just did.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in California. Come from a migrant family, and I was living there up to the age of 14. And then once I hit 14, unfortunately, we were struck by a drive-by shooting that happened in our home, so I was forced to move away, and that kind of started my journey to living independently. So I moved to the state of Oregon, all on my own with no parents, no support. And then ever since I've been in Oregon, I've been kind of couch surfing and trying to figure out my life. I was able to figure out how to graduate high school. I went off to college, did about 3 years there, and I was supposed to get all my college education paid for by the Department of Education, and that fell down. It didn't work out. After the third year, financial aid called me in saying, hey, you don't have enough money from the department that's supposed to be helping you out to graduate. So I was forced to drop out of college, and I found myself at the beginning trying to figure things out. And as you mentioned, I do have experience in a lot of different industries, and then I decided to start my own tiny house company.
It's an amazing success story, and you're just 25 years old. Tiny houses, tiny house cribs is your official business. This started to really catch fire, what, 3-4 years ago, when the price of real estate and the price of houses just took off. And young people with limited means of income, they still want a place to live, they still want a place to call home, but they can't afford to go out and buy a house that's sitting there. This is filling that void, and specifically for the Wenatchee Valley, you found the market to do this in? Is this coming to Wenatchee and doing this? You saw that there was a market, or you wouldn't be here, right?
Yeah, I've been living here in Wenatchee, in East Wenatchee actually, for about 3 years now. And once again, I was kind of a millennial who was trying to get my life together, seeking and trying to seize opportunities. And I found myself moving here. And I hear a lot of folks are going through that. They call it career hopping, where you go from city to city, state to state, trying to figure out what your career or profession will be. So I ended up here, and I see actually there's a lot of individual tiny house do-it-yourself folks in the valley already.
Mm-hmm. But you're different. What makes you different from the folks who are already doing it here?
You know, I really saw it not just as self-interest to please my tiny house needs, but I asked myself, how can I serve others? And that's when we decided, you know, let's not just serve my tiny house needs, but how can I mass produce and serve many people who might be in a similar situation?
One of the first things I noticed is that your tiny houses are on wheels. They are somewhat portable, as opposed to we're going to pour a foundation and drop a house on it, and there's your house, and you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yours have wheels.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reason why they have wheels is, you know, as a tiny house manufacturing company, we place them on wheels for many different reasons. One of the philosophies is that for emergency management, in this area, we get struck by a lot of natural disasters, wildfires, earthquakes, hurricanes, you name it. Why not can a person have a tiny house on wheels, so if a fire were to break out, you can haul it out of that danger zone, and if your normal house were to burn down, you'll be able to come back, and at least you have your tiny house on wheel safe and sound, and you can start with the rebuilding of your normal residence.
And my guess is this is probably an untapped market for migrant workers, for folks in the agricultural industry who come and take care of what needs to be taken care of during the harvest season. They still need a place to live. My guess is you're trying to find a niche there as well?
Yeah, there's a market for that as well. You know, coming from a migrant family, there's a lot of seasonal farm workers who go from farm to farm, and some of these farmers do supply housing. Some of these farmers don't supply housing. So this is a great alternative for, instead of renting a motel or renting a local apartment in the area, just have your tiny house trailer. More than likely your farmer is going to let you to park it on their, you know, near the orchard, and you'll be able to be there during the season. In addition to that, we have a business-to-business section where farmers can also supply H2A housing for their workers, tiny house style.
Take me inside a tiny house. What is a typical tiny house from Tiny House Cribs? What are people dealing with?
Yeah, so square footage, a lot of people say, you know, what's the square footage in a tiny house? And I say it's about 250. We are able to go up to 400 square feet as far as an official tiny house.
But you can get a lot into 450 square feet, can't
Yeah,
you?
all of our units have a 2-story loft. So we like to say the main floor is your bathroom, your kitchen area, your living room, very simple floor plan. On the 2nd story, you have a 2 lofts. So one of the lofts you can put a twin size mattress in, and then the other loft you can put a queen size mattress in it. So you can easily have 3 to 4 or 5 people in a tiny house comfortably.
And tiny houses are not only are they quite affordable, and we'll talk about how you can get a tiny house in just a little bit, but the infrastructure of the house makes it very, as far as electricity and plumbing and all that stuff, everything is compact, so it's a cheaper way to live too. My guess is it's very well insulated, stuff like that, right?
Absolutely. For my environmental folks who want to leave less of a carbon footprint and are really conscious about conserving our environment, we don't use many resources really. And in addition to that, as far as the safety aspect of it, we do follow a set of standards by law in the state of Washington. We have to follow a set of standards. So if somebody does buy from us and use a tiny house, they can be in it safely. And really compared to other do-it-yourself tiny house people who say, pay me cash and I'll make you a tiny house, they don't really have a set of standards that they follow. And we as a manufacturing company, we want to make sure the people who buy from us are safe and it doesn't burn down or the snow collapses your tiny house. We were very conscious of that.
So hopefully we're planting a seed out there for people out there, maybe young people just out of college. They got a huge bill to pay off for their college education. They can't afford to live in an expensive apartment or an expensive house. We all know what the rental market is here in the Wenatchee Valley. Who's your number one client? Who are you looking for out there? Are you looking for people like I just described?
Yeah, so 85% of tiny house owners are millennials. Millennials meaning people under the age of 30. Most people who actually buy tiny houses, they're actually people over the age of 50. So people's parents or grandparents are buying the millennials their tiny houses. In addition to that, the baby boomer market. A lot of folks are retiring, downsizing, selling their 2-3 story homes, and they're traveling, exploring the freedom of their retirement, and a lot of folks do that through the use of a tiny house on wheels.
Now, can they go out and look at a typical tiny house at your facility, or how does that work?
Yeah, so how it works really is on our website we hope to have a lot of great images, and people can actually see the floor plans and images of the exterior and interior. In addition to that, they can schedule an appointment, so they can come down here in Malaga. We are located in Malaga. To be able to see what we have in production at that current time.
So give me a timeline. You know, I'm in Cosme. I want to get me a tiny house. I have a little lot I can put it on. Everything's on the up and up. I can run my water and my electricity and everything. Take me through the process from that point
absolutely.
forward.
So quite simple. Somebody just goes to tinyhousecribs.com. They'll be able to select the product that they want. The price is listed on there, and they'll be able to select colors and options before they make a purchasing decision. Once we get that order in and their deposit in, it's quite simple. We start the manufacturing process. It takes us about 2 months to actually make it, and it takes the government a little bit longer because we are an official company. We deal directly with the government. It takes them a little bit longer to actually certify it, and we certify our units as park model RVs. So once that is certified, the customer can come pick it up in Malaga, and they can go park it in their lot or park it in their mom's backyard, or folks who are real estate investors who want to rent them out to other millennials, they can do so.
So you have set floor plans. What if you want something personalized? Can you do custom?
Absolutely. On our website, we'll have a custom-made survey. People can initiate what custom-made means to them, whether an off-grid with solar panels, generators, composting toilets, you know, you have an inverter, converter, a different type of insulation product, a different type of exterior siding, whatever custom made means to them, they can start that process directly on the website.
And the best thing is affordable, right?
Absolutely.
That's the biggest thing. It's affordable.
Yeah, so instead of investing a 30-year mortgage, if you were to finance a tiny house, we're saying it's less of a commitment. It's very similar to financing an RV or financing a really nice truck. It's not a 30-year mortgage, so you don't have to really ponder upon, man, it's 30 years that I have to pay every single month. It's not 30 years.
How do people get a hold of you? This has been I'm seriously considering doing this.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Well, it's pretty simple. Directly on our website, tinyhousecribs.com, there's information about our phone number that you can send us an email, or you can just come down to Malaga and we'll coordinate an appointment with you, and we love to earn your business.
Cosme, this has been a fascinating conversation, and this is not, we'll take you back to where we began. This is not a fad, isn't it? This is here to stay, right?
Absolutely.
The tiny house movement.
You know, we're very serious. You know, if you know, this is not one of those part-time businesses. We're really trying to develop something good for the market. You know, there's a shift in society right now where the bigger the mansion doesn't necessarily mean the more successful you are. We're saying a small structure can be your success.
Oh, I like that. And one more item, since I have you here. My guess is there's a, you know, we all know about the homeless situation, the housing situation. This could be a very unique solution to that for people who just are having a hard time getting their feet underneath them and they need a warm place to sleep and shower and eat. This could solve a lot of societal problems, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And to give you an example, recently, just the past few months, in Yakima County, right behind the Walmart in Yakima, for those of you guys who know where Yakima is, right behind the Walmart, they had homeless individuals that's called Camp Hope. They had these individuals in a tent, and they recently got a grant to do a tiny house project for the homeless individuals. So now they have about 6 to 10 tiny house units, not on wheels. These are on sheds, and there's a whole legal battle between wheels or off the wheels for what you define a tiny house. And they actually, these homeless individuals are under shelter now, not just in a tent. So that's a great success for Yakima Canyon. In the city of Seattle, there's also a homeless project, tiny house style. So you can definitely look at Seattle or the Yakima Canyon government websites to learn more about the tiny house projects for homeless individuals.
Cosme, I enjoyed talking to you.
All right, thanks
so
much.
Good. Best of luck in your endeavors. I have a feeling you're going to be just fine.
All right.
It's going to work out great. tinyhousecribs.com. tinyhousecribs.com. Keep in touch. Let us know how things go, okay?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll be right back right after this.
Introducing the lightweight shot starter. Only on the 2018 Ski-Doo mountain sleds. With next generation engine and platform. For the unmatched power and handling to own the next ride. Ski-Doo. What matters is what's next. Get 4-year coverage or 0% financing for 36 months.
We know crunch.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life Channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life Channel.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life Channel.
And welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz alongside Steve Hare. Steve, how about
Wait a minute. What happened?
Have you put on some weight, Steve?
Had a very large bagel during the break.
Eric Granstrom, our general manager and sports director, joins me wrapping up what was a long weekend for you.
It was.
How many miles did you put on the truck?
I still have to do that mileage thing today to get reimbursed for that. But yeah, that was a lot back and forth.
Eric drove down to Yakima, covered the Kashmir girls on Thursday in the quarterfinals, and then he got in his car, drove back here, went to work Friday, emceed the Special Olympics opening ceremony Friday night at the Town Toyota Center, got back in your truck, drove back down to the Yakima Sun Dome, got to see the last 2 minutes of the semifinals on Friday. And then he did all of this stuff, and then he went to bed at God knows what time Friday night.
Yeah, it was part of that problem too was the connection I had for the internet in the hotel was not the greatest.
Okay.
And so that exacerbated doing highlights and everything else. So it was about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning by the time I was getting done with the work part of it.
Eric went down and covered Kashmir's amazing run, second year in a row. They went, so close. But let's not talk about Saturday night yet. Let's take you back to Thursday night, Nooksack Valley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was, and I'm talking with Brent Darnell, the head coach for Kashmir after the game. I said, well, better in the state tournament to win ugly than lose pretty. And he says, oh, yeah, by far and away. And it was an off game. And I don't know, Nooksack Valley didn't really line up well with Kashmir. And I think it was one of those, well, you play golf a lot. Sometimes when you play against somebody that's not so good, you kind of play down to their level. And I think that's kind of what Kashmir did on Thursday night. But that tells you a lot about the quality of that team to play poorly, to shoot miserably, and still win by the margin that they did on Thursday night to advance.
Not
to the
having to play
semifinals.
Wednesday probably helped. Fresher legs.
Absolutely.
Because they only had to win 3 games to take the whole thing.
It was an odd postseason for them because they win the district championship, then they don't play for 14 days before they play the regional. They know they're going to state no matter what. They win that regional game against Lakeside at Wenatchee High School. Lakeside did pretty good in the state tournament, by the way, ended up placing. And then had to wait until Thursday night to play, and then Thursday night, 9 o'clock at night, and that's not a normal time frame. So everything was a little wonky to start the tournament, but they advanced. They go on to Friday night for the semifinals and got better, played better, and had to play better against LaSalle. LaSalle's game, I watched that one on Thursday night against the Zilla.
Mm-hmm. And Zilla was the only team that beat them this year, right?
That beat Kashmir by 1 point earlier in the season. And so I'm like, okay, well, how's this going to shake out? And Zilla actually Zilla was kind of like Lynn and Christian almost with the height. They had a lot of height inside. But Zilla couldn't hold up to LaSalle. LaSalle very similar to Kashmir as far as size and scrappiness and heavy on the defensive side of things. And so I thought, okay, this is going to be a great matchup. Well, Kashmir, just took care of business and let it start to finish. And so, okay, well, here we go. Time for the championship on Saturday night and match up with Lynn and Christian. And boy, that was just, Lynn and Christian undefeated, their 12th championship in team history, 37th time to the state tournament. Lynn and Christian had more championships than Kashmir had in appearances at the state tournament. So here's the final 2 minutes. Kashmir's up by 3 at this point, and Lynn and Christian able to work the ball inside down the stretch here because of foul trouble for Claire High, especially for Kashmir, number 33 down there. And they and offensive rebounds, the second chance opportunities really hurt Kashmir in this game. Lynn and Christian with 11 points on second chance opportunities. And that's what Coach Darnell said after the game was that those offensive rebounds, especially in this fourth quarter when we had 6 lead changes in the game, and Kashmir another chance here, and Haley Van Lith. This sophomore is just simply incredible. She had done everything that she possibly humanly could do to this point in the game, and of course you're going to say, okay, Haley, go try to win it for us, and unfortunately got stuffed there, so Lynn and Christian back on the offensive set. And they quickly, work the ball around on the perimeter again and give credit to their coaching staff. And this is a great drive here for the game-time bucket there by Isabella Hernandez. Or actually, they took the lead on that one by 1. And so you're still thinking, actually, I was expecting a timeout here for Kashmir. They had plenty in the bank. I thought maybe they'd call a timeout and work on what they wanted to do. But again, Haley just saw the opening. She took it and just missed. It's like it's a little microcosm of Kashmir's last 2 years of the state tournament. That close. And that shot was that close. And here I'm thinking, okay, they're going to get the ball turned over. Lennon Christian calls the timeout. Come out of the timeout, and still got time left on the clock here. There's over a minute to go, and you're thinking, or it's getting down, inside a minute here. And again, they get the ball inside deep, and Claire, unfortunately, she was playing with 4 fouls at that point, and Kashmir gets the ball back, gets another opportunity, and misses a shot. But Haley again with an offensive rebound, and this girl just is phenomenal. And to have the opportunity to watch her over the next 2 years is just going to be fantastic. And the good news for Kashmir, you think about it here, they only had 1 senior on this team. Unbelievably, a team that finished the season with just 2 losses on the year, and the second of which coming in this state championship game. But Haley makes the second free throw to cut it to 2 at this point. And so you're thinking, okay, got a foul. There's about 13 seconds left. Inbounds the ball, foul them, put them at the free throw line, and you never know what's going to happen. So they get Avery Dykstra to the free throw line. Dykstra, a very famous name in Lennon Christian lore. And she misses it, and then this scrabble for the rebound, and then, of course, who comes up with it? But Haley Van Lith. And then you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's got a fast break opportunity. And Darnell said he was calling for the timeout as soon as they got the rebound, and they didn't hear him. I mean, this place was so loud, and you can see the Kashmir fans there behind the scores table.
So how much time's left now?
There is 5 seconds left in the game at this point, and this is the inbounds play, and again, so close. And Cami Kanishka on number 20 there on the left of the screen, she'll come out, she'll grab the ball in the inbounds, and then just a quick give and go, and that close to going in. And then rebound again for Lennon Christian. And you look at the Lennon Christian lineup. I mean, 6'1", 5'10", 6'1", 5'11", 5'11". That's their starting 5. And for Kashmir, whose tallest person on the floor was 6 foot, that's a tough challenge for anybody. And Kashmir just they say it all the time, kind of in sports lore, never a reason to hang your head, but especially what Kashmir was able to do against a team like that. And you could tell Lennon Christian, especially in that third quarter, they're behind, and I don't think they've been behind in a game all season long. They came in undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state, and with that history they have in state tournaments, they looked a little flustered being behind on the scoreboard. They didn't know exactly what to do. But, I mean, what a run, what a great tournament for Kashmir, and congratulations to the Lady Bulldogs on, second place again, and hey, they'll be back again next year.
Cami Kanishka graduates, the rest of the roster returns.
Yeah, everybody's back. And so, you look at the starting lineup, 3 sophomores on the starting lineup, for goodness sakes. So it's not just this next year, but the next 2-3 years at least.
They're not going to rebuild, they'll just reload.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll reload.
Exactly. Yep. So fun tournament to watch, and congrats also to the Kashmir fans who showed up. I mean, that place was packed. There wasn't anybody left in the town of Kashmir, I don't think.
So you could see from one angle of what we just saw where your camera was, how many people were actually on the other side that
it
we
was
couldn't
full.
see.
It was full as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll give credit, they kind of changed up the final games, the championship game for the boys and the girls, and made it NBA type atmosphere. They shut the lights out, and they had the spotlights on, and they did really well with that. That was fun.
Winter sports is in the books. We're done.
Just like that.
We're done.
And we're a week from tomorrow starting our spring sports schedule right here on the NCAA Live
We're
channel.
still broadcasting sports. As I mentioned before, we got like 40 some odd games have now been ingested into our system. So you can go all the way back to 2 years ago and watch some football.
Right.
That's what I did over the weekend. There's a schedule for the week, Eric.
Yeah, we've got Wenatchee Wild hockey playoffs tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Of course, hockey night on Thursday night. We'll have game 2 with a series from Merritt from over the weekend, and game 3 up in Merritt, which is actually being played tomorrow. Will be on the air Friday night at 7 o'clock, and game 4 coming up on Saturday at 7. So you're home for the Wenatchee Wild and their playoffs right here on the NCAA Live channel.
This spring, we'll be doing soccer, boys soccer, Eastmont and Wenatchee. We'll be doing girls softball for the first time. Looking forward to that. We'll be doing lacrosse again. We'll be doing fill in the blank, baseball. What else?
That's it. We were asked if we could do track, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't
really
have
hard.
enough bodies or cameras for that.
It's really hard. So once again, congratulations to the Kashmir Lady Bulldogs. It was really a great year for them, and they'll be back. They'll be back. And just a quick heads up, I think Dennis Tronson, first of all, he's completely recovered from his heart attack.
Yes.
Dennis Tronson has very slowly built a very, very good Wenatchee High School soccer program. They won the state championship 2 years ago. Loris Navarrete is back for his senior year, may very well be the best soccer player in the state of Washington. Keep an eye on this Panther soccer team.
I had a chance to
make
talk
a
with
deep
Dennis
run.
real quick here at the regional basketball tournament to ask him how he is, first of all. And he said that his whole perspective on life has changed after this heart attack and his procedure after that. And it's going to be fun to watch the soccer team play because of Dennis's new outleash on life. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have a great Monday. Thanks for bearing with us on this 5th day of March. We'll be back tomorrow. Teresa Samuelson from Campfire Boys and Girls are in the studio tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.